Point of Taxation Rules under Service Tax Part 1. Point of Taxation Rules is very important as they lay down clearly when the service tax has to be levied. Generally speaking, as thumb rule, service tax has to be levied by the service provider the earlier of issuance of invoice or receipt of payment. However, there are scenarios or situation when you need to apply specific provision mentioned in Point of Taxation Rules. Before we discuss them, let's understand. What is the point of taxation? The point of taxation shall be 1. The time when the invoice for the service provided or to be provided is issued. In case where invoice is not issued within 14 days from the date of completion of taxable service, then the point of taxation shall be the date of completion of provision of the service. 2. In a case where the person providing the service receives a payment before the time specified above, the time when he receives the payment, to the extent of such payment. Example: ABCD Private Limited issues invoice to Excise Private Limited for 10,000 Indian rupees on 6th of December 2016. However, Excise Private Limited make the payment on 30th of November 2016, then the point of taxation will be 30th of November 2016. 3. In case of continuous supply of service where the provision of the whole or part of the service is determined periodically on the completion of an event in terms of a contract, which requires the receiver of service to make any payment to service provider, the date of completion of each such event as specified in the contract shall be deemed to be the date of completion of provision of service. What happens when there is change in service tax rate? In case a taxable service has been provided before the change in effective rate of tax, where the invoice for the same has been issued and the payment received after the change in effective rate of tax, the point of taxation shall be date of payment or issuing of invoice, whichever is earlier, or where the invoice has also been issued prior to change in tax rate but the payment is received after the change in effective rate of tax, the point of taxation shall be the date of issuing of invoice, or where the payment is also received before the change in effective rate of tax, but the invoice for the same has been issued after the change in effective rate of tax, the point of taxation shall be the date of payment. In case a taxable service has been provided after the change in effective rate of tax, where the payment for the invoice is also made after the change in tax rate but the invoice has been issued prior to the change of tax rate, the point of taxation shall be the date of payment, or where the invoice has been issued and the payment for the invoice received before the change of tax rate, the point of taxation shall be the date of receipt of payment or date of issuance of invoice, whichever is earlier, or where the invoice has also been raised after the change in effective rate of tax but the payment has been received before the change in effective rate of tax, the point of taxation shall be date of issuing of invoice. In Part 2 we will discuss about other rules of Point of Taxation Rules.